Hey everyone, this is Jay. Today we're going to be doing the second part of the Jounin Exams. Sorry I'm so late. I've been kind of busy with school, but here we go. As you can see, Jounin Exam Part 3 has already started. I know I'm a little late on this one, so I'm going to try and get Part 2 and Part 3 done before today. As a little treat for everyone, I'm going to try an experiment with you guys. Let's see what happens. First, I'm going to go ahead and go to the Kage room. Now, you cannot do Part 2 with a teammate. You have to do it by yourself, as it even says right in the mission description. So, I'm going to go in here, and I'm purposely going to fail. And I know what you're thinking. Why would you do that? Let me skip this story. Now, I skipped to the first anime in order to save time. First thing you might notice is I have no jutsus at all. This is going to be my little experiment. So first, I'm purposely going to lose. Alright. Now that that's done, mission failed. Now I'm going to go ahead and set up my jutsus, as well as buy and fill up on healing scrolls. Level 25 healing scrolls. So I can hold 40, you guys can probably hold 20, but I'm going to go ahead and skip this part as well. I know I'm skipping a lot, but I'm doing it in order to save a lot of time. I'm sure you guys don't want to see all this boring stuff. Now that I have my jutsus set up, I'm going to go ahead and start this mission and do it the correct way. Okay. By the way, if I was going a little too fast for you there, you just run straight to the right and go up the stairs that are here, and then you'll appear right in front of this guy. Now, this guy restricts you on his very first turn, which really sucks, but there's not much you can do to get around it. Now that I've had this character's health down some, I'll start talking about him a little bit. Sorry for skipping. Again, I'm doing this all for the sake of time. Now, this guy is not a very hard enemy. He doesn't do a whole lot of damage. The only problem is that he has a lot of health and a lot of chakra, as well as a healing skill called Water Heal, and it heals him for 1500 health each time. Thankfully, Haken here is pure fire, and I have Hellfire as well as Windblade Extension, which can do a pretty good damage. Just a second ago, I did about 320 with this attack, and then I did over 800 with Hellfire. However, I did have Strength and activated as well. Anyway, again, like I said before, this fight is not difficult. However, it is extremely long, so I hope you like long fights. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, because besides this fight being extremely long, there aren't really any tricks to beating him. After you defeat him, go ahead and go up the stairs once more and fight the second guy. For any of you who actually play this game and are a fan of a very popular anime series, this character will seem very nostalgic to you. Thankfully, this boss is also not very difficult. Some might even argue he is easier than the previous boss, because he can't heal, and even though he does have the ability to burn and stun you, he doesn't have that much HP, so he's pretty easy to kill. This is one of the attacks you have to watch out for. He jumps on a toad and he shoots fire at you, which causes burn to you. He also has the Helix Vortex that causes 25% bleeding to you. All those attacks you have to look out for. But besides that, he isn't much harder than any normal boss. And if you guys have been fighting the world bosses recently, he should be about as hard as fighting one of them. Now, usually I go ahead and skip these fights, but you've pretty much just watched me beat him in real time. As long as he doesn't miraculously kill me while I'm stunned. Nope. Looks like this battle is mine. Now that that's over, let's go ahead and go up and fight the third boss. Now, this guy, you really want to watch out for. This guy here is a monster. His damage is ridiculous. Because I know what he's going to do, I'm going to go ahead and get ready to avoid it. I started up with flexible. He does the spear attack. Now his next attack, you want to dodge. You'll feel a lot better if you do. But just in case I don't, I'm also going to be Embrace of the Golem. Thankfully, I was able to dodge it. Now, that attack you just saw, not only does it do a massive amount of damage, one time I was hit with it and it did 1,300 damage to me. Not only doing a lot of damage, but it also stunned me for 3 turns. The first time I got against this guy, I lost before I could do a second attack. Thankfully, all these bosses have a pretty generic pattern to them, although they do change depending on which attacks you do. Like, earlier, I did both Flexible and Embrace of the Golem immediately after he did Concentration, and I realized he didn't do his attack, which stuns me for 3 turns, and instead just did a whole bunch of generic attacks. So just keep an eye out for the pattern that they have and change your attacks accordingly. And I'm just gonna go ahead and wrap up this fight, which is almost over. Bam. Dead. And we go on to the last guy. Now, do you remember that little experiment that I did previously where I took away all my jutsus? Well, this is why I did it. Your 4th opponent is yourself. Now, if I'm lucky, he doesn't have any jutsus. Unfortunately, I got unlucky. So, ignore that little experiment and just go ahead and go in there with whatever you have. Unfortunately, the doppelganger, at least as far as I have seen, will always attack first. But also, it's you. It has your moves, but on top of that, you have a pet and healing scrolls. So this should be an extremely easy battle for you, and I'm just going to skip the entire thing. And with this battle now over, I bid you adieu, and I will see you in part 3.